Welcome back again. So this time around, we want to start our coding part. So the first thing we want to look at today in this coding part is how to set up our library. Okay, this is a Python using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, if you're not familiar with Python and you have to just look for a way of learning the basics online, I didn't have a provision for that for now. Okay, so this class is assuming that you already have basic knowledge of Python. Okay, so if you do not have, you need to find way of getting that knowledge, and then before we go together. So Python is easy to run. All right, just follow the research, and this particular code, all the code will be given out. Okay, I'm going to attach the complete code to the in the put them the resources uh, folder so that you can download the code, including the data set, so that you can at least run it by yourself. Then you can modify the code for your research if you want. So in this first part, I just want to quickly explain the library that we want to use for this particular research. So we just get them once and for all and keep them at the upper section so that we run it once. So we don't need to be importing them one by one from each section. So we need pandas, okay, which this one provide data frame structures for working with tabular data. So it helps us to tabulate our data in structure while we are working. The way you look at it in Excel just now, the pandas will help us to do that, to do it the same way in Python. All right. So we have NumPy also provides support for arrays, matrices, and mathematical functions. So mathematical operations is performed using NumPy array. So that is the purpose of that. Then we have Matplot library, which is based on the PyPlot. So we want to, this will help us to have what they call compressive plotting and visualization. So creating interactive visualizations for our research. Okay. We also have Seaborn. Seaborn provides high-level interface for interactive statistical graphs or graphics. Okay, that is Seaborn. And we also have SciPy, which is provides statistical test and distribution. So through SciPy, you can get some statistical tests like ANOVA and some of them, and we have one of them is imported here now from SciPy. So this specific statistical test from SciPy, we have Pearson, we have one ANOVA. Okay, we have continuous table for chi-square and so on. So it helps us to get that. All right. We also have um, start models. Okay, this one provides classes and function for estimating statistical models. Okay, or statistical models you want to build, it helps us to build them. Okay, we call it start models. We also have a formula we imported from start models. We will call ordinary least square regression for linear regression analysis. All right. We also have warnings. So we use this to manage how warnings are displayed in our data, and we can filter the warning by ignoring. So ignore all warnings messages to keep out clean and useful for our present data. All right. So this helps us to keep our data clean. All right. We also have uh, style we use, okay, in printing our chart or our report out. We use Seaborn style from Matplotlib library plot. It makes plot more visually appealing. All right. Then we also have uh, a palette, another a style. It's called palette horse one. Set our color palette for Seaborn plot, usually horse one color space. We also have a plot library inline to display Jupyter Notebook Magic command to display plot inline in the notebook. All right, so we can now understanding this thing. We may not need to understand all of them for now, but this is what we need, okay, to start our coding. So we need to import all the library once and for all. Then we put them in our header section. Then we can now load our data set. So our data set is saved in our data. If you remember in Excel, you can have them saved in CSV file, one separated value, okay. But because we have them in Excel, we use a Excel sheet method. We say read pd.read Excel. Okay, this is our PD is from this particular feature called pandas. Okay, this data frame structure. Okay, so you read from here. Okay, pd.read Excel, and because the sheet we have the data is sheet 1. If you have in sheet 2, you can just put sheet 2 here. Sheet 3, you can put sheet 3 here. But if you are importing from CSV, you don't need to use that. Just read so CSV to bring out your data out for you. Okay, in similar way. So now we can display basic information from the data now. So that we have, if data is, if the thing is properly read from your from data. So we are, this particular data now is saved inside our folder. All right, our folder in this research. So you also put in your work folder so that you can be able to access the data. If not, it will give you error. All right. So display basic information. Now let us print data shape now, and we print the number of columns and the to list and the first 5 rows should be displayed in our data. All right. So that's what we want to just do now. All right. So if you print now, if you click on run from here now. Okay, we should have our data. So it's running now. There's no error. We should have our data. This one is not supposed to be there. Okay, that is why. So let's see our data shape. We have 19 columns or variables. We have our data set is 190. As I showed before in Excel, remember here we have our 190. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? That is 19. If you count down with our HRM practices data we collect. So we have data is 19 by 190. So the observations is 190, and the variables or columns total in 19. So we have 190 by 19. So don't forget that. All right. So we also have our columns shown here. Okay, we have columns shown here. If you scroll down a little bit more, you see our first 5 rows. That's called df.add means first 5 rows. If I want to have more, I can just put maybe 10 here to see 10 rows. Okay. If I want to see tail, I want to say dot tail to see the last 5 rows. Okay. So if I just scroll down like this, I can see. Can you see? I'm looking at the first 5 rows now showing here. All right. Can you see the first 5 rows here showing? That's what we have in Excel. This is what of the work Panda is doing for us, PD. Okay, help us to look at to see it in form of Excel like. Okay, you can scroll left and right to see the rest here. Okay, so you can see, if I scroll left here, you can see the rest here. You can see them. All right, so this is what we have now so far. Okay, our data set. So this is just to show that our data set is ready to be used for analysis. Okay, so this is what we have for now, how to import our data set and how to just test it to see if it's working, if it's truly imported, and to see the data we need to use. So this is just the first part. In the second part, we see how to assign our coding and how to display it. So thank you for listening for now. I will see you in the next class. Thank you.